One night, the Charles family attended a party. Adela came with her father, Colonel Charles. She always stand beside her father. And suddenly, a rich, attractive, and independent woman approached them and asked them to stay
Want to
a
stay
little longer.
Of course, everyone's going to something else. I've been at a lot of things here.
And where are you going?
Oh, I go to that shot of things. Surely you must be going on somewhere yourself. Yes, you must have a lot of places.
No, I have no plan at all. Do stay a little. I think this is such a nice hour, but can't really talk.
It isn't fair.
Do sit down. Please don't tell me.
I'm-
Have any talk.
I'm afraid the language issues. We'll say goodnight now. I say, Adela, you must realize this thing.
After the party, when she got home, Adela immediately went to her brother, Godfrey,
Good night.
who was at his study table, and she told him about their father and Mrs. Churchley at the party.
Father's going to marry Mrs. Churchley, you know.
How do you know?
I've seen with my eyes. We've been dining there. We've just come home. He is in love with her. She is in love with him. They will arrange it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he will. He will. He will. He oughtn't to. He oughtn't to. Think of mama. Think of mama.
Yes, someone should think of mom.
To such a woman as that. After her. It's like an insult to her. It's as if he denied her. He rubs out at a stroke all the years of their happiness.
They were awfully happy.
Yeah, think what she was. Think how no one else will ever be like her again.
I suppose it's not very happy now.
Of course he is not any more than you and I are. And it's dreadful of him to want to be.
Well, don't make yourself miserable, are you sure?
Of course, I'm sure. One could tell from the way they behave together and also father's attitude on the drive back home from her house last evening. Oh, she's so public. She's so florid, promiscuous and menace.
Oh, I didn't say she's alright.
Alright to come and take darling mama's place and to sit where she used to sit, to lay her horrible hands on her things.
Oh, I just mean that. Nothing will cover it.
No, not if we do our duty. And you must speak to him. Tell him how we feel, that we shall never forgive him, and that we can't endure it.
You're thinking cheeky.
Cheeky to plead for her memory?
You say it's none of my business.
Then you believe he will do it?
Not a bit. Go to bed.
No, I'll speak to him.
Don't cry out till you hurt. Wait till he speaks to you.
He won. He will do it without telling us.
Is Mrs. Churchley very rich?
I haven't the least idea what on earth has that to do with it.
She lives as if she were.
She has a lot of hideous things. She has a lot of hideous showy things.
Well, must keep our eyes open. And now, you must let me go.
Why she did leave us? Why she did leave us?
Yes, why indeed? At the dining table, Colonel and Adela were talking about the party they attended yesterday. Her father asked how Adela felt about Mrs. Churchley, but it looks like Adela doesn't like her.
Adela, have you been to call on Mrs. Churchley?
No, why so kind?
Don't you call people after you dine with them?
Yes, in the course of time, but I don't rush off within the week.
Then you will please rush off tomorrow since you dine with us on the 12th. And I shall expect your sister to come down.
To a dinner party?
It's not to be a dinner party. I want them to know Mrs. Churchley.
Is there to be nobody else?
Godfrey, of course. Think about it.
Father is having a dinner party, you know. I suppose that means they will be making their announcement.
I've been to see Mrs. Churchley.
What on earth did you do that for?
Father told me he wished it.
Then he has told you
Told me what?
that they are engaged, of course. What else can all this mean?
Well, he didn't tell me that, but I like her.
Like her?
Yeah, she's very kind, very good.
To trust herself upon us when we hate her. Is that what you call kind, and is that what you call decent?
Well, I simply don't hate her.
I suppose there is something that I must do.
And what is that?
I must call on Mrs. Churchley and tell her what my feelings are.
Oh, please, Adela. What does the father tell us for sure? That they are going to marry.
I'll see.
When going to dinner with Mrs. Churchley, Adela daydreams and imagined her meeting with Mrs. Churchley. Adela imagined he knelt in front of her and asked to stay away from her family. But when the door opened and came back to reality, she hesitated to ask that to Mrs. Churchley.
Spare us. Have mercy on us. Let him alone. Go away.
Back at the church house, Godfrey studied. Adela asking to Godfrey because she wants to know what their father and Mrs. Churchley did to Godfrey.
What did you say to him?
I said nothing. There's nothing to say.
Is that how it strikes you?
He asked me to talk to her.
In what hideous sense?
To tell her I was glad.
And did you?
I don't know. I said something. She kissed me.
Oh, how could you?
He told me he was rich.
Is that why you kiss her?
I don't kiss her. Good night. At the breakfast room in Colonel House, Colonel and Adela at a table talking about news that was snow to Adela, where the news is that her father was going to marry Mrs. Churchley. Adela and her sister begin crying to her that news.
Yes, I know.
Hi, Papa's going to be married. Is going to be married, Mrs. Churchley.
I think it might be best if you girls go away for a while. I shall see about sending you off to Brinton.
Adela, please tell me, what was your purpose of your visit the other morning to Mrs. Churchley?
The purpose?
Yeah.
What's the matter? Why do you ask?
They put it off. They put it off, Mom.
Thank God.
Why the devil do you thank God?
You know, and think it all wrong.
What did you do then? How did you interfere?
Who told you I interfered?
You said something. You did something.
What I did was my own business.
Damn your own business. You made such a mess. And if I don't pass the exam, it will be your fault.
We will be leaving for Brinton tomorrow. Father seems quite miserable, but don't worry, darling. It will be all right. Besides, it will give us a chance to enjoy the summer home that Mama loves so well.
After Adela argued with Godfrey about Adela's meeting with Mrs. Chudley, the Charles family moved into Brinton. While Adela was watering flowers in the garden, Godfrey came to visit their house in
I'm so glad
Brinton.
you are here. I'm so glad. Will you be staying a few days?
Only till tomorrow morning. You're sending me straight to Madrid. I come down to say goodbye.
To Madrid? How awfully nice, and it's awfully nice of you have come.
What I really come for, you might as well know without more. It is to ask you a question.
A question?
Yes. What was it you said that morning to Miss Churchill?
If she has told you, why do you ask?
She has told me nothing.
What have you seen?
She has broken it off. Everything's over. Father's in the debt.
In the debt?
Would make him jelly.
He will get over it. He will be glad.
That reminds me, Sin. You inferred. You inferred something. You got brought her. I insist you knowing that he did.
Are you absolutely certain it's broken off?
He is, and she is. So that's as good.
What reason has he given?
None at all. Or half it doesn't. It's the same thing. She has changed her mind. She mistook her feeling. She can't part in her independence. Moreover, he said that he has too many children.
Did he tell you this?
She certainly told me. He has gone abroad for a year.
And she didn't tell you what I said to her.
Why should I take this trouble if she has?
You might have taken it to make me suffer. That appears to be what you want to do.
No, I think that's you. It's a good turn you have done me.
What do you mean? What in the world have I done to you?
She would have helped me. She was ready to help me.
Help you in what?
Can you just see I'm in trouble? Where's your rise? Where's your sin? Your sympathy that you talk so much about? Haven't you seen this 6 months? That you have worse worry in my life.
What's the matter, Godfrey? What is the matter?
God against me, so I could strangle you. In God's name, satisfy me. What infernal thing did you do?
It was an infernal. It was right. I told her Mama had been raped.
Reg, you told her such a lie?
It was the only way, and she believed me.
Richard, how? Richard, when? Richard, where?
I told her Papa had made her so, and that she ought to know it. I told her the question troubled me unspeakably, but that I had made up my mind. It was my duty to initiate her. I notified her that he had faults and peculiar ties that made Mama's life a long worry, a martyrdom, that she hid wonderfully from the world. But Dad, we showed that. I had often hit. I told her what they were, these faults and peculiarities. I put the dots on the I's. I said it wasn't fair to let another person to marry him with a warning. I warned her. I satisfied my conscience. She could do as she liked. My responsibility was over.
You infected such a tissue of falsities and calumnies. And you talk about your conscience? You stand there in your sense and proclaim your crime?
I'd have committed any crime that would have rescued us.
You insult and blacken, and you ruin your own father?
He will never know it. She took a vow she won't tell him.
I'll be damned if I won't tell him.
I did right. I went down on my knees to pray for guidance, and I saved Mama's memory from outrage. But if I hadn't, I'm not worse than you. And I'm not so bad, for you have done something that you are ashamed to tell me.
I'm a maniac!
Inside the house, while Adela was drawing, a rather elderly young woman with yellow hair, highly rough cheeks, and dressed in bright colors came
There's a
to
lady in the
the house.
drawing room waiting to see you, Adela.
Is she big and dreadful?
Well, she's dreadful, but she's not big.
Well, to show her interest. Who are you? What is your business here?
I will tell you what I've come for. I've come to ask you to intercede. With your father, you know? He doesn't know, but he will have to. Well, don't so bewildered. I tell you who I am. I am Mrs. Godfrey. That's who? Yes, your brother's wife. We've been married 7 months now. And if he is taken off, then I'm taken off with him. He didn't want to tell his father, so I had to talk to some other member of the family face to face, being as he was afraid to tell his father himself. I hope you will see to it that the good old colonel does something. Good day.
After Adela argues with Godfrey in the garden about the lies that Adela talked about her father to Mrs. Churchley, and find out that Godfrey has already had a wife, Adela meets Godfrey in the garden.
Oh, Godfrey, is it true?
I mean, the most unutterable donkey. You can say whatever you like to me. You can say anything worse than I'm saying to myself.
My brother, what has father said?
He'll give her 600 a year.
Angel.
On condition, he never comes near me. She has solemnly promised, and she'll probably leave me alone to get the money. If she doesn't, in diplomacy, I'm lost. I've been living in hell.
My brother.
Idiot. Yet for her, I behave like one. Don't ask me. You mustn't know. We're all done in a day, and since then, fancy my condition. Fancy my work in such torment. Fancy my coming it through it all.
God, you passed. You were wonderful.
Shot myself if I hadn't been. I had an awful day yesterday with the governor. It was late at night before it was over. I left England next week. He brought me down here for it to look well, so that the children shall know.
He is wonderful too.
You're a fool.
Did she tell him?
She came straight to Center Street from here. She saw him first alone. Then he called me in. That's lasted about an hour.
Poor father. Have you told him
Told him what?
what you said you would? What I did?
I was angry with you, but I put off. I held my tongue.
You
thought of Mama.
Oh, don't speak of Mama.
No, if you had thought of her.
Oh, then it didn't prevent. I thought Mrs. Churchley good. I believe in her.
Is she very bad?
I shall never mention her to you again.
You may believe I won't speak of her, so father doesn't know.
Doesn't know what?
Did I say what I did to Mrs. Churchley?
I don't think so, but you must find yourself.
I shall find out, but what had Mrs. Churchley to do with it?
With my misery? I told her about it. I had to tell someone.
You didn't tell me.
You? Oh, you take things so busily hard. You make such a row. What if I wanted was comfort, not to be laughed at? I thought I should go mad. I wanted Mrs. Churchley to break it to father, to intercede for me and help him to meet it. She was awfully kind to me. She was listened. And she understood. She could fancy if it had happened. Without her, I shouldn't have pulled it through. She liked me, you know. She said she'd do what she could for me. She was full of sympathy and resource. I really learned on her. But when you got it, of course it spoiled everything. That's why I was so furious with you. She couldn't do anything then.
So that he had made it alone.
Yes. He had to meet it alone. Father's coming here to stay for a while. He says he wants to be with his girl. I suppose that's a good idea. He needs to be away from London.
Father,
Yes, Adela.
I just want to say I said something a while ago. I'm sorry that you were so dreadfully hurt.
I appreciate your concern, Maggie, but this thing do happen. Fancy that a woman changed her mind, and everyone's my days is dreary.
Perhaps we could have some guests in.
My dear girl, what will attract them in the world? I have decided to do a bit of traveling. I shall start in Paris and then go on to Monte Carlo, and I shall conclude my trip to visit the Godfrey.
Well, you have come to me.
Yes, I am deeply sorry for the pain I must have caused you, Mrs. Churchley. Everything I was told you was false, and please regard it as unfair. And please don't despise me too much. Take a pity to my dear, sweet, and perfect mama. Please, please come back to him. He has been miserable without you.
Oh, this is so hilarious! Why I never believed what you said for 1 minute. It was all too absurd. I really dislike you, and I found you utterly false. I told your father what a horrid girl you were, and I told him that I could never live with anyone so hard. I told him he must be family, for you will never marry me. I don't know what you had done, but your father defended you for me. This, of course, led to the complete rupture of our relationship. Please, Mrs. Churchley, Papa gave you up for me. Fancy the angel, fancy what I must try to beg him for the rest of his life. Oh, Mrs. Churchley, please come back to him. His life is meaningless without you. I'm afraid it's too late. You see, I'm willing to marry Lola for that.